So I've just picked up another Honda Cub 90. Really excited about this one. It's in really good condition, but unfortunately for the last year or so, it's been left outside in a cover that has started to rip. So it hasn't been getting its full protection. So you can see that there are areas where it's started to rust. I think I'm going to be able to polish these up really nicely, and there's not a lot of rust on the actual sort of hub of the wheel itself, and you can see the frame is fairly good. You know, it's started to compile a bit of dust in these areas, but it's actually just, you know, dirt and mud. A little bit of wear on some of the panels, unfortunately. This has been over tightened and has now cracked. I think I'll be able to drill 2 holes in that to stop it from cracking, and then you know, just leave it, because these panels are in really good condition. This thing has never really seen the sun. It's in perfect condition color wise. A little bit of dust again compiling down there. The outside of this chain guard is fairly good. The inside from the behind the wheel is pretty rusty, which is a bit of a shame, but I'll be able to sand that down and paint that, I think. And because it's on the inside, it's not going to be too bad. The forks have, the suspension, the shock arm has started to rust again a little bit at the top as well, and the bracket for the seat, but it's all sort of pretty light rust. The back piece here for the box, I'm going to take off completely. I just think it looks cleaner without it. The pipe has started to rust. I think all of this I'll be able to clean up fairly nicely. It's going to be a little bit more of a pain down here. You can see some of how thick some of that rust is, but again, I think I'm going to be able to do a pretty good job of getting that all nice and clean. It's not had many owners. It looks like it's only had about 3 owners. One of them had it all the way up until 2001, and then someone else has had it, and then the stepson of that person has had it. So it's basically 2 different families. So it's actually, you know, fairly good that it's only had 2 families. This pannier is going to come off. This box is going to come off. The visor shield here is going to come off, but that's done a great job of protecting you know, the headlight from getting all rusty. That actually looks like it's really good, cleaning up nicely already just with my finger. It's done 11,000 miles, not that many. The mirrors are okay, little bit of rust over there as well. Obviously the leg shield needs to be cleaned, but it's pretty good. That I'll probably be able to sand out with a little bit of wet and dry paper, and it'll just expose the white underneath. Again, a little bit of wet and dry up here just to sand that all down. You can see a little bit of rust beginning to form in some of these areas, but it doesn't look like it's too deep. You know, most of it's actually rubbing off with my finger, so I think it's okay. What I want to do though is take off both of these covers. It's raining at the moment, so I can't really get started, but I want to take both of these covers off and see the frame underneath, because you can see some rust showing. So I've just had that panel off there, and as you can see, it's actually not bad at all. I'll just sand that down a tiny bit and get some paint and just paint it on with a brush, touch it up, protect it a bit. Really pleased so far with the frame. It does look okay. I've had a look underneath the wheel. You're not going to be able to see that right now, but that does look okay as well. So yeah, this is pretty good. Let's get the other side off as well. Here is the other side. So the battery needs to be replaced because that's not working, but look at the condition of the frame. Really pleased with that. Good grief, very nice. This shaft arm here is pretty knackered. Oh Jesus, you can see that just came off there. That will need to get sandblasted and painted. That's about the only thing on there that's really bad. The other side's actually not too bad as far as I can remember. Little bit started to go, but again, if I start protecting that now, it's going to be fine. So yeah, that's about the only thing that I think is going to need to be blasted and powder coated, but a little bit of rust starting to form down there. Bit of a shame, but again, I'm going to start keeping it inside now. It's outside at the moment. One night of rain ain't going to do a lot. It's got a cover, but I'm going to put it in a garage for the rest of its life. Really pleased with it so far. I'm going to take these up and actually start working on these now whilst it's raining. I might as well. But yeah, this is good. I've removed the leg shields and the panels from the front of the bike, and I've also just unscrewed that. Oh yeah. Oh crap, a little bit of rust on the side there. That's a bit annoying. And a little bit underneath. Jeez. But the top is okay, and that's the bit that you see the most. Ah, she's looking good. All right, so the front of it is pretty good now. I've had all these panels off here. I've taken off the really beaten up windscreen thing. I've taken off all of the little brackets that were on there. This whole white panel has come off. I've removed most of the scratches from here by sanding it down with a really fine grit wet and dry sandpaper. That there's not really a lot I can do about right now. I need to really paint it, to be honest with you. The cracks have been repaired. I've put a little black trim on here to stop the paint from getting any more scratched. But now what I want to do is completely disassemble this back end, and we can get under there and clean the bike. We need to clean this bracket here, make sure that it's all okay and the frame's not rusted. So to do that, we need to remove the suspension arms, take off this bracket and unscrew that. No, in fact, I don't think we need to take this off. We just need to unscrew this bracket and just keep unscrewing. Basically, these indicators aren't actually in properly yet either, so I'm going to need to unplug those and crack on with it. So let's go. Okay, so I've taken this bit off. It's honestly in mint condition. There is really nothing wrong with it. It looks absolutely mint condition, honestly. So here is the frame. Now, most of it, as you can see, is just rubbing straight off. So that is very good, obviously. That means that, you know, all of that side is checking out okay. If we come over and do this side as well, we've got the fuel, like petrol, sort of how full the petrol tank is, meter, I guess. Wire there to go into the actual tank. And then we've got the rest for the lights and the indicators on the back. So yeah, as you can see, all of that stuff is just coming off. But see, that's how it starts. That's how rusting starts. Like, it starts to, basically the big congealed loads of dirt is essentially a sponge, and it just absorbs and contains the moisture, and the paint eventually starts cracking, and then it gets to the metal, and then when it gets to the metal, it's a bad thing, basically. So the problem with this is obviously because half of the mudguard is the frame, it means that the water is just going to be spraying up and sitting underneath the frame, and you can see under there, better than I've been able to, all of that stuff sat on it all the way up. So what we need to do is take this off and have a look at the frame under here, because that's basically the part that goes the most. This is where things could take a turn for the worst. Here we go. Oh my God, that is not bad. Little bit of paint lifting up there, a little bit down there, but it's pretty good. Solid.